Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, 27th of June. So, first things first, as ever, let's look at what possible risk that may affect these markets this morning. And we're looking at Thursday here. So, we do have the Governor of the Bank of England there speaking, due to hold a conference about financial stability report. Okay, so we'll see the report out, etc. That's at 10:30. There might be a snippet within that to watch out for. Aside of that, then we've got final GDP US. The final data, although they've marked it up red here for impact, unless there's a significant move away from forecasts, it shouldn't do too much. We have actually had, I'm just having a look here at the previous finals, and there has been quite some movers on some of these, so maybe it will have a bit more impact. There's so many beans to count, it takes them a little bit longer to count them, all those bean counters. Right, anyway, then we've got the core durable goods. Again, this is a bit, well, it's coming out at 130, so it might be sort of disguised within. But there's certainly that 130 area just to be wary of for the US dollar. Right, let's look at the charts, and starting off as ever with euro dollar. Yesterday, euro came back off again. It's a bit of a mixture. It has been pushing up this morning. It's run through its daily pivot at the moment, but just turning over. Just turning around a little bit here at the moment. Now, it's a break back below the daily pivot would be a sear target for those prior lows, maybe the S1 on this. So that's what I'd be looking for. Yeah, I mean, yesterday it did chop down quite strongly, as of the previous day. It might be done now. These moves, it may be just consolidating when you look at it back into the dailies where it is. Let me just there we go. Put the monthly pivot back on. It's just below its S1, so we'll see how it reacts, but there is that potential for continuation. The pound likewise, sitting here in a short position on this at the moment from yesterday. It's come back up, it's come to the underside, it's 4-hourly 500 and its daily pivot, so it's run into the daily pivot there. There's the that was yesterday's entry, etc. That's sort of sitting there, so at the moment just leaving this alone. But if you were looking for a new trade, well, we'll see what happens post 8 o'clock. Remember, give it until probably about 20 past 8, quarter past 20 past 8. I won't trade on some of my strategies before quarter past 8 for a good reason. The probability is not so good. Sometimes you're going to miss them, and this might be one of those, but you might just miss a bit of a move. But it's got plenty of opportunity back down towards its S1 for the day, or even if it goes down to its prior lows there. We'll see. But for now, it's looking on the bearish side there. So there's a couple of opportunities. Maybe the pound looks the better of the two. The yen, we've broken through the 47-year, 37-year highs, I think it is, that we've broken through here. I'm sure it'll be written down somewhere. I haven't read any of the documents yet, or news feeds yet, but that's made yet another high there, having a little reaction. You would have expected, bearing in mind they're going to step in and intervene or whatever else, a much bigger move than what we're seeing at the moment, a bit of selling. It just goes to show with these markets, as much as I expect the intervention may be coming in, then it may be quite brutal when it comes in. If you're holding long, and you're in long, that's fine. To go long, I think it's a more difficult situation. Although it's arguably the same sort of pattern as we've seen on a dollar and the euro inverted. So it has that potential to continue to just shove to the upside. It's just the risk of taking the upside if they do intervene. But there's a lot of traders here getting squeezed that are shorting early. And that's one thing to watch out for. I'm not ready for it until it shows me it. Aussie dollar continues. Well, I mean, you can see with the dailies, it's just overlapping. It's in a range at the moment. There's the range this week, from last week into this week. really not giving too much away, is it? It's back into its prior highs here. It's having a bit of a pullback as I'm talking, but this could all change and these could continue. So as much as we're seeing, I mean, we just seeing many markets running into support or resistance at the moment, and it's pretty, well, it's one of those rare times when there's a lot of them doing it at the same time. This, well, there is a bit of resistance from prior highs there, but it's just slowed down like everything else. The dollar's just edging stronger for a moment. I don't have an immediate trade off of this either way. I don't like the price action. US dollar CAD, this had been coming off nicely, and it's just as you can see, yesterday changed that. It's put us in a daily pivot swing, but we've seen a bit of a correction at the moment. But again here, if you will, well, it's actually reacting nicely off its weekly pivot at this stage. For me to go short on this, I'd want to see it break the 34 there, the 200 moving average. I'd leave it otherwise, because it could yet, and it might still just push up there. Look, it's into its daily pivot at the moment. So it's between a rock and a hard place, and the safer route might be to the upside, but just got to let this next sort of half an hour or so just work its way out, give us a bit more of a pointer. This does look quite good on the upside from here, and quite good on the downside from the other way. So on the 4 hourly, yeah, which way, eh? Okay, New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, lower highs, lower lows through there into its, it's not far away from its monthly pivot at last. Quite a messy old, still remains messy. It came right off yesterday and got into a right jam, but that too is back to its daily pivot at this stage. So there's a lot of confluence in that respect. All these markets at the same time. The pound's now starting to move up towards breaking it. Now my pound trade is at a break-even state at the moment, so I really, it'll be a shame if it doesn't go off and hit something. But with these, we might see it all change in a very short while, so be careful. US dollar Swissy. Okay, this is one I so want to be in, but I'm not. It's every time I put an alert on there to, okay, I'll take the daily, but it's not come back to it. It is today. It's probably the day it then runs all the way through it. I'll just see what happens this morning. Might just move this a little bit here. More interested on it breaking to the upside. This has got to be for me. It's a more of a swing trade. It doesn't set today. I'm going to have to review this later before I take anything on it, but just check that there's no major news that's going to affect us too early. Next week we've got like non-farm payrolls, but that's Friday. It's got plenty of time to work off between then. Euro yen continuation to the upside largely. Yesterday pushing on forwards, even though the euro's softening against the US dollar, it's doing alright against the yen. Everything's doing alright against the yen. It's still being sold. Big money's still been going short onto the yen, so no one's too scared of the intervention yet. Okay, euro yen here, chopping along, but again could see a continuation. It's slowed up here, but there is a risk with it, but we'll see what happens there. For now, that's pretty much it for me for a moment. I'll do the rest in my trading room in a short while. Look through the rest of those. Let's just run through gold, oil, and look at the indices. So gold yesterday came off pretty solidly as well. When it rains, eh? Consolidating near the lows of this, it just, as I said yesterday, just looks weakish. It hasn't quite caught its pivot yet, daily pivot, but looks weakish. I mean, it certainly confirmed it yesterday in terms of the price action, and that probably means it'll find some support now and bounce. Now I've said that, as soon as you see these moves in the market this time of year without any real action, it seems to kill it, but for now gold looks consolidated. It's not something I want to go into. Oil's become a messy. The big slick, as they call it, it became really messy yesterday. Late morning there, went up and then off it came, but it's just really spiky and horrible at this stage. It has delivered a lower high in on this lower time frame. You can see a bit clearer. You see it on the 4 hourly. Actually, it's done it. The weekly pivot might be a goal for it in the near term. It just looks like it's topping a little bit now. Just when it started shaping up and looking okay, it's what he's done there has made it look like a bit of a topping pattern. But I'd need to sit below the weekly pivot to be on the short side. S&Ps. Again, look, the daily, just going in tight range, chopping along. Horrible price action. This is from sort of late last week through this week. Nothing for me to be trying to trade in terms of trending. I mean, intraday there might be some. I mean, it's horrible. Even I'm just looking from this hourly point of view, and it's sort of the high frequency of movement. I mean, chop. Whipsaw in one side, then the other side. Might be a sign of, you know, it's done for now. But yeah, we've seen a few signs of done for nows, and it's pushed up massively. Nasdaq here is the same. Again, for the long side, it would need to be above its weekly pivot for me at the moment. Short side. Really just don't like the short side of this market. It's not done enough to really push it in. Having said that, it's on the shorter time frames has put lower highs in. Very bitty. I mean, there are probably intraday opportunities there, but they're not markets for me at the moment. The way they're just sort of sitting here, chopping. It's a high risk. Okay, let's look at the DAX. Again, look, day after day, just sort of side by side, choppy. It is ranging. There are the opportunities to play the ranges, maybe intraday wise, but I mean, this is just breaking through here. Is it going to push up again towards its R1? Playing the range. Let's see what happens post. We're just running into 8 o'clock now. Is this the 8 o'clock bar? It's done that all in 1 minute, or in less than a minute. Looks like it. There'll be plenty of people that will have been sitting there ready to short this into its pivot this morning, but it's only halfway up between the range, so it's very risky. Anyway, there we go. So not the best looking of markets this morning. And the FTSE, well, edging southbound. It's again daily wise. That is it's green. Was it green, red, green? Oh. Anyway, lower highs there on the 4 hourlies. It does look a tinge on the downs, on the soft side. And it does there look on the soft side, already moving a little bit. That shooting star, maybe the S1 could be in target, maybe more. Right, very iffy this morning. So maybe some intraday stuff there, but not a great deal else. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.